Hi guys, so someone asked me to do some swooshes, whooshes, transition sounds. So today I'm gonna show you how to do it fast and easy. You're gonna need probably some kind of Doppler effect. So I use the Nuendo Doppler effect. Okay, so it's really useful. You can also check for the waves. Okay, so it's really cheap, like $30, and it's really useful. All right, so let's start. First of all, we're gonna use the test generator. To generate some noise. Okay, so I'm gonna use a white noise. Okay, and maybe I'll just record that so the test generator won't make noise all the time. So I'm gonna disable the output. I'm going to put the stereo out inside the input of the channel, and I'm just gonna record. Alright, so now we have a nice steady white noise that we can use, and let's add I'm gonna use Soundly some cymbal and metal stinger sounds. This is good. I'm gonna use the tail. All right. Now I also want to add some noise, so I'm gonna use wind sounds. So heavy wind sound, and good. So now what we want to do is to put those layers one on top of the other. I'm gonna send all of this to a bus. I'm gonna call it Whoosh 1. Okay. Now all this noise is going to go in here. So first of all, we want to create the envelope. Alright, so that gives us a nice whooshy sound. Now the only thing that is left is to add the Doppler effect. So in the Nuendo Doppler sound effect, you can choose. I mean, if I do this, okay, you can choose the start of the action, okay, where the action starts. So here you have the time code. You go to the end of the action, press end, and the transition happens right in the center, okay? And listener is supposed to be right in the center. So I guess listener means that where exactly do you want to hear the transition? Okay, so I'm gonna put it right here. Let's hear how it sounds. Okay, so now the pitch change is really it's a big change. Okay, so maybe we want to attenuate it. right, I'm gonna add now I can also change the transition place to see how it sounds. Maybe I'll change also the listener place. All right. So what's interesting about this method is that you can now play with the layers. So first of all, you can remove all the symbols, and then you have like a much more airy sound, right? And you can also remove, and you get like a much more symbol-like sound. You can also play with the volume. I really can't hear this because we're still on stereo in and no, I need to send it to the group Whoosh 1. Okay, let's hear how it sounds. All right. Now you do want to compress this because it's not like it should be in your face. Like most of the whooshes sounds, you want to hear those. Okay. All right. I'm going to add a limiter to make sure it doesn't exceed, doesn't clip. Okay, so usually I put it around a minus 0.2. All right. So there you go. Now, what's nice about this is that you can just duplicate that. Okay. And use completely different samples. So instead of test generator that gives you white noise, you can just use pink noise. Okay. Instead of a low wind, you can use like more higher wind. Like this one. All right. You can hear how your whoosh sound changes as you add more layers. So, right? Let's add some. The rain gives us more whitey noise. Right? So. All right, and now what you can do is add an instrument. So let's, for example, I don't know, let's use FM8 native instruments. Let's change the name here. Okay, Whoosh 2. And I'm gonna make sure all those go to Whoosh number 2. Okay, and I'm gonna add an instrument FM8 that goes to Whoosh number 2. Let's find some. No, I didn't want to use FM8. I wanted to use Absinthe. Okay, you can really find some great. I'm gonna first send it to stereo out just to hear the clean sound. Okay, you can really find some crazy things here. Okay, so maybe. All right, so that's interesting already. It's been a long time since I last used Absinthe, but there is here some way to go to the here, and then you can go do some crazy things. Those. Now what I'm gonna do is to just record that. Okay. All right. Render in place. There you go. Now I'm gonna just use the same note and just change the preset. Let's hear how it sounds. So I'm gonna play a new, more higher note. All right, render in place. Now I don't know if you heard that, but there are like way too much low frequencies here. Let's see in the analyzer. We don't need that, so I'm gonna use offline processing and just cut it off. That's it, it's gone. What about this one? This one is fine. So no like huge bass slop here. So I'm gonna remove this one, I don't need it anymore. And I'm gonna just try and play with these samples right here. Okay, so I'm gonna cut it. And now I need to send those to Whoosh 2 in order the Doppler and the volume to work. All right. Good. So we already made 2 different whooshes. So wait, we need to send this to whoosh number 2. and we don't need those tracks. So Whoosh 2, I'm just checking that everything goes to the second group. All right, now you can just you can play with the distance. So let's say that I want to do something that is much more longer. Okay. So first of all, I need to select that. I pressed P to take the locators and put them exactly where the selection is. And I'm gonna press 1 to go with the cursor to the start of the selection. And I'm gonna change my Doppler. So start begins here, and there it changes exactly. And I'm gonna take the transition and the listener here. And now let's hear how it sounds with the test generator. Alright, I'm still hearing this one, so I probably need to change the sound here. Whoosh 3. Okay, let's mute those one. All right, so there you go. You have something that is much longer. Okay, I want to really make the transition stronger, so I increase the pitch. I can reduce the left-right. No, I don't really want to do this. Transition, let's hear how it changes the sound. I don't hear much of a difference. All right. So now we can choose some other sounds. Okay, so let's use things like more crazy. I'm gonna search for breath. Okay, that could be like a little bit creepy. If I stretch it and use the tape algorithm. All right. This one also. Same thing. I just want it to be short enough, long enough, excuse me. And okay, that's a creature sound. So this is actually like human voice that has been already super stretched. And maybe I'll check for horror sounds. All right, so that's nice. we forgot to add some reverb here, so I'm gonna add an effects channel with the Valhalla. So stereo out, add. Let's change its color. And let's just put it here. Alright, now let's add some reverb and see how it sounds. So you can really hear the difference. Okay, so much stronger. Can even lower the Alright, so let's try another thing. Sometimes we want to make the transition sound, the whoosh sound, go up and not down, because the Doppler, obviously, when something passes in front of you, you first hear it from far, and as it gets closer, you hear it much louder. But when it goes away from you, you hear the pitch going down. So if you use the Doppler effect, the pitch will always go up and down. Now, what happens if I want the pitch to go up? So I won't use Doppler. I will use the same technique. Okay, so first of all, let's go back with the test generator to a white noise. Okay, so we have something like that. Let's make this smaller. Okay. All right. Let's use some of the samples we already used. All right, so I'm just going to try something and let's see if it works. Okay, so I'm going to export that. All right. And now we're going to try and use the pitch correct, the pitch shift that we have here, and you see it's already going up. So let's just hear how it will sound in the audition button. Okay, so that's a little bit too much. We can just reduce the range. Let's see how it sounds now. Okay, what we can also do is change the algorithm. Maybe a polycomplex. Okay, that doesn't work. Okay, that's better. And I don't want to push it too much, so I'll just reduce that size. Okay, and let's start lower. Okay, and go. Okay, that could work. Let's hear how it sounds. Okay, that's not bad. What we can also do is use a notch in the equalizer. So if I do something like that, okay, let's reduce here. Okay, we can do this. Now, if you take it really low and you just move the frequency here, you can hear another way of taking making the whoosh sounds like it's going up. Okay, so I'm just gonna write it. Okay, and let's try and automate this in this way. All right, so that's not bad. Now, if it's too strong, you can reduce the gain. All right. So there you go. You have a whoosh that comes up in pitch. What you can also do is just bounce it and make it much faster. All right, or make it much slower. Right now it sounds weird because we didn't change the algorithm. We need to change it to tape. Okay. If you add some reverb, it will sound better. Cool, right? Now, another thing that you could do, and this is a complete different way of approaching this, is using massive. Okay? So, what's interesting about that is that you can actually, while you see the movie or the action, or the visual action, you can just on the spot decide how long your whoosh will be without the need to stretch it and change the algorithm and all of that. So I use a preset that I created, and I will add the link below so you can do the exact same thing with your massive. All right, so this is the preset. So now when I press something, I just can control how long it will be. So I can do it really fast. Okay, we should add some reverb here. Probably not too much, but all right. So now you can do it really fast, or you can do it really slow. Okay, so what's interesting about that is that I added a flanger effect, okay, that goes up and gets wet. The more I push up the modulation wheel, okay, it changes the sound, the color, and the amount of white noise. Okay, it opens up the filter, and it adds flanger. So when I get all the way up, the sound doesn't stand. Okay, the sound moves and it doesn't hurt, like it doesn't gets annoying because it moves all the time. Okay, so at the top of the modulation wheel movement, you can really hear the flanger. And that way you can just play and do it as long as you want. And if you need to change it, you just squeeze it or stretch it. And because this is a synthesizer, you don't have to play with the algorithm, and you don't have to check if it sounds good. It will sound exactly the same if it's really short or really, really long. Okay? So, as I said, I will add an article to show how to get to this. You can just copy it and use it. And that's it for now. Thanks.